What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Love and Marriage DC Season 1, Episode 2, and the episode is titled Coldest Winter Ever, you guys. Alright, you guys, so before we jump into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and are not subscribed to the channel, then I'm going to need you guys to do me that solid favor and stop taking me out in this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that, you guys, let's go ahead and discuss Love and Marriage DC, shall we? All right, you guys, so this episode, we open up and we see Monique and Ashley. So they're meeting up. And so, with watching this episode, I've changed my opinion on Ashley. Like last week I said I liked Ashley. This week I don't necessarily think I'm gonna like Ashley that much because of some things that Ashley said in the episode. They kind of was like, really? You're judging people and you don't even know the story. So like I said, Ashley and Monique, they're meeting up. So Ashley, we all know she and Quick are married and they're having their marital issues. So she and Monique are talking about the Tyler's wedding anniversary party. And I'm still confused as to why y'all tried to bring up, what they, if they've had conflict in their marriage, what have they done to overcome it at an anniversary party? And that's what the people want to talk about. Now, with Monique and Chris, I am still trying to figure out what is the issue between Monique and Chris, because I just don't understand it. It's not conveying to me. I mean, the one thing that I can kind of see is the fact that Chris doesn't 100%, it seems like Chris doesn't 100% listen to Monique, but I just don't understand it. So then we talk about Ashley's issue, and you guys know what Ashley's issue is. Ashley's issue is that, she is Quicksilver's wife, and pretty much that's what she feels like it is. She's his wife and the mother to their kids, where he's out doing the party life and the DJing, and she's had to put her life on the back burner. And I know that has to suck to feel that way. So then, she and Monique, they bond over their, I guess, marital issues. Again, like I said, I still don't understand what Monique's issues are. I can clearly see what Ashley's is, and to a small subsection, I can kind of see what the issues are with a lot of these couples. Communication. I don't think they effectively communicate with one another, but that's neither here nor there. So now that they've bonded with each other, Monique has invited Ashley over to her home for a vegan dinner. So Monique is now vegan, and Ashley, she is a pescatarian. Now, at one point in time, I was a pescatarian, and it wasn't bad at all. It was actually really cool. Yeah, it was cool when I did pescatarian. I pretty much ate fish, catfish, shrimp. Those are the main two fishes that I would eat. I can't say I have eaten other things, but those are the two top things that I really love. So then we see Quick, and I just wondered to myself, how tall is Quicksilver? Because you can look at Quick and kind of see that he's not a very tall guy. He's kind of short in stature. So he meets up with his business partner, whose name is Sean. So Sean has been in Quick's corner since his dad died. And I think he said his dad died when he was 18. I think Quick said he's been working for the radio station since 1990. It's between 96 and 98, one of those two. So Quick has been there for a very long time at this point. So we also find out that Quick is going to be doing this event called CIAA, and I think it's a basketball tournament. I wonder if it's kind of similar to like the NCAA. I wonder if it's kind of similar to that. But CIAA, it is, I guess it's like it's like parties throughout the night, and he's going to be this year. He said that it'll be in Baltimore. Now, when Quick was talking about it, and especially when Sean was talking about it, it sounded like it's work. And I know it's probably, but see, Quick is of a certain age. So Quick is not in his late teens, early to mid 20s anymore. and he got a family. So I think Quick might want to sit down and reevaluate. I see what Ashley is saying. You might want to sit down and reevaluate because you're getting older, and even when you're young, when you're young, you like to go out, go to the clubs, and have fun. Go to the club, stay in the club until 4 or 5, and stay out until 4 or 5 in the morning, come home, sleep all day, and then do it all over again, right? Because I know I used to do that when I was in my 20s. But in my 30s, bitch, I couldn't even imagine I just couldn't imagine doing that. And Quick has worked himself at some point to the point of exhaustion. I'm like, now that's when you know you got a problem. Not saying that you have a problem, but that's when you're overexerting yourself. And again, you have a family, so you got to sit and be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm making this money and I'm taking care of my family, but how useful are you? How useful and how beneficial are you to your family if you are in the grave? You got to think about that. We're going to pause here, you guys, and we're going to move forward. Next up, we see Monique. So Monique is down at a radio station, so she's done some guest co-hosting, and I have heard her because she did get this job with this radio station, and I have heard some of the clips, and the clips that I've heard, she's talked about Potomac. She's talked about the altercation with Candace before, and they even mentioned the Real Housewives of Potomac, and she's like, that other show. And honestly, you guys, if we're gonna continue with this show, Monique, you've gotta stop mentioning Potomac. You've gotta stop saying that other show, because what it sounds like is you're jilted. It sounds like you are bitter. It sounds like you're upset about something. Let that go, because you guys remember obviously she still ain't let it go, because remember, after the reunion she did those binder chronicles. I was like, oh god, and it was all over my YouTube timeline. I was like, oh god, will she stop with this shit? It was just annoying to me. So yeah, Monique, I just want you to stop talking about Potomac. You say you quit, right? Like, if I quit something, here's my thing when it comes to Monique and the Real Housewives of Potomac. If I quit something, now granted, I was watching Layla Lynn's channel like, a week or two ago. Now, Layla said that Monique gave her resignation after the reunion aired. And you guys remember, now I don't know if Monique is forgetting what she said, but I heard that, she put in her resignation after the reunion, but then she also said that she got a contract and she declined that. So which one is it? You know what I'm saying? Which one is it? I'm not sitting here saying she's lying about leaving Potomac. I don't really, be honest with you guys, I don't care. I just want Monique to move on with her damn life, because I'm really, at this point, I'm just tired of her talking about Potomac. But like I said, if I quit something, if I legitimately quit a job, let's say that let's say with my current job, if they offer me a promotion and I'm to the point where I'm like, you know what, I can't do this no more, it's a wrap. Then if I quit, actually not even my current job, let's just go to some of my past jobs that I've had. Some of the ones that I've quit. I quit Allstate. I quit that job and I went on to State Farm. And I never, ever, ever talked about Allstate when I was at State Farm. I didn't talk about it. Allstate was Allstate and State Farm was State Farm. So I just never talked about it, and I let it be. I did still have friends that worked there. My best friend, to be exact. My best friend still worked there. Some of my friends from my department still worked there. But when we went out to places, we would talk about the department, but we would just be discussing if things had changed. Other than that, we didn't talk about it. So I kind of just want her to stop talking about it. You quit on your own terms. Why are we still discussing it? But that's neither here nor there. So then we see Chris. So Chris, he's meeting up with Kevin, and you guys know Kevin is Winter's soon to be ex-husband. Winter, girl, you tweeted up a storm last night on social media. So Winter was watching the show and she live tweeted, and I saw one of her tweets. Now, here's the interesting thing. Winter and Kevin, I believe that they interviewed them for a full-time position on this show because they did an interview, and I'm pretty sure that was with the producers when they did that interview. And they were talking about they have sex 8 times a day. And then she was talking about Kevin. She was, I mean, like I said, she was tweeting up about Kevin. She talked about him using Cialis and everything. I was like, oh, this is what we're doing. So Kevin is giving me a black Tom Girardi. So Kevin is talking about his business that he has and the fact that they said that he was embezzling money. Now he did say he got the divorce papers from Winter, and basically with those divorce papers is either sign them and don't hesitate. It ain't no either. It's sign them, hoes. Do not hesitate at all. Sign them down divorce papers and let's move on with our lives. So yeah, Kevin is accused of taking money, and he's been accused of taking his kids ice skating. Kevin says he never took his kids ice skating. So then Chris, now here's my thing with Chris, right? Chris is talking about his relationship with Monique and what he knows what he needs to do in his relationship. And I'm just like, okay, well, if you know what to do in your relationship, why are we going through this? It's, for me with Chris and Monique, I don't know what's real and what's fake because it's giving me like they are alternate, it gives me a sense of Carlos came to us with this show. We didn't really have much going on in our lives, so let's manufacture some fake bullshit so that we can get on this show. It's really what it's giving. Because, Monique, even with the previous, get to know the real whole me. So we didn't get to know the real whole, you were a champagne flute holder from season 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we didn't get to know the real you in them 4 seasons that you were on Potomac. I'm just asking a question. Literally, I'm just asking a question. We didn't get to know the real whole you in the 4 seasons that you were on Potomac. And I know she likes to say that, they want, and I know Monique said that they wanted to make her the angry black woman. Monique, I like you, right? I do. But I always, when it comes to these reality stars, they can't make something that you didn't give them. You gave them that footage. You gave it to them. So they didn't make you the angry black woman. And I'm not saying that you are the angry black woman. But Bravo, Truly, Original, none of them made you the angry black woman. Because for 3 hosts, because for season, actually scratch that. I was about to say for 3, but for season 2 and season 3, you didn't do that. You were cool. You threw your little shade at Zelle, and that was that. But then season 4 and season 5, that's when you started having these issues with Candace. Because season 4, when you told her you would drag her pregnant and all, and I was like, wow, okay. Maybe it was just a figure of speech. I don't think it was a figure of speech, but hey. So then season 5, you had that misdirected anger at Candace. And please, you guys, don't get in the comments about it. I don't care. I don't want to revisit it. I'm just saying what I saw. We're not going to argue back and forth because I don't want to deal with that ever again. But what was I talking about? Yeah, with Chris and Monique, I just don't understand their storyline. That's why I just think they're putting 20 on 10, to be honest. I don't know what's real and what's fake with this storyline. It just gives me, we needed this. I hate to say it. I know that, now I'm going to say this, and I'm going to preface this by saying, I know that Chris and Monique are not broke, but well, I'm not gonna say y'all need the check, because y'all don't need the check. Y'all need the TV. One of you needs TV fame, and I'm gonna let y'all make a deduction on who that is. One of you guys needs television. One of you guys need reality TV, and I'm going to go. Actually, I'm gonna say it. I feel like Monique wants to be on television. Sorry, not sorry. I believe Monique wants to be on TV because, like I said, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me why they're doing. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The whole get to know the real hold me. Okay, it is what it is. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Let's pause here, you guys, and move forward. All right, so next up, we see Jamie, we see Quick, and we are introduced to a new person, Neil Lyons. Is that what his last name is? Something like that. Neil, and I know it's Neil and Tasha, his wife. So they meet up. Neil is a basketball coach. I think he coaches for Jamie's kid, one of Jamie's kids. Yeah, Jamie and Arena got young kids, don't they? Yes, Jamie and Arena have young kids, and Ash and Quick's kids are older. Or is it? No. No, I'm wrong. It's Quick's kids. Quick has the young kids. Quick got the young kids. The boy and the girl. The 15 and the 9-year-old, right? Yeah. So they're talking about CIAA. They're talking about who's going to get the best party. Who cares? So then we find out that, Quick asks, what's his name? Jamie, how does Arena feel about this? Arena's not too happy, and we'll talk about that in a minute, why she's not that happy. So next up, we see Monique. So Monique, she's talking to Chris. She's telling Chris about the position at the radio station, and how if she takes it, she'll have to be to work at, she has to be there by 4 or 5 a.m. So that means she'll have to wake up probably maybe 4:30, maybe 4 or 4:30 in the morning, depending on how far she has to go, and depending on the traffic too. Can't imagine there would be a lot of traffic at 4 in the morning, but so she's like, so if I do that, you have to step up. It's like, oh, I'm already up, cooking the kids breakfast. Once again, what is their issue? Then he talks about the fact that he met up with Kevin, and he says it seems like Kevin is really truly in love with his wife. He could be, and he could be manipulative as fuck, whichever one you want to call it. I don't call it nothing yet, but you guys can call it whatever you want to call it. So then we see all the couples, and they meet at the Samuels. And this is the point where I was like, okay, yeah. I don't necessarily know if Ashley's going to be my cup of tea, because I feel like Ashley is already prejudging Winter. Unless Ashley and Winter has had interactions with each other prior to filming the show, then cool. But it just feels like it's, presumptuous. And it feels like she's just, she's already going in like, oh, she's this way, I'm that way, we're not going to get along. So, I don't even know how this conversation came up about homeschooling. Monique is homeschooling her kids. She taught her kids about Africa, the real pronunciation of Africa. I forgot what it was. And I do remember seeing these pictures when they went to Kenya. I do remember seeing the pictures because I remember it because of the situation between she and Marceau. And when he went to Africa. Because Tisha commented on it. Did Tisha comment? Somebody comment. Tisha or Marceau comment. And she told him, back, little Bill. Now, Jamie, when Irena was talking, you were rude when you put your hand in her face. I was like, that was rude. So Jamie was like, so with COVID still out there, you guys are not worried about that? And Monique was like, I'm not living my life in fear, which you shouldn't. And they were like, I think most of them have all had COVID. Some have had it twice. So then Monique was talking about the fact that the second time she had it, it drained her of sodium, and how her family basically didn't pay her no attention. That pissed Chris off, and I was like, oh shit. And then they went back and forth. I'm like, wow, so y'all are really doing this in front of company. Again, it's giving me staged. Sorry. I'm not sorry. But they eventually let it, they apologized and moved forward. So the situation with Irena and Jamie is, Irena has issues because of women in the nightlife, some women don't care if a man has a ring on them. They still gonna approach them. And she said she never caught him cheating. Kind of sounds like Letitia, to be honest with you guys. People accuse him of cheating, but she hasn't caught him in the act. But yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your post notifications. Share the video, you guys. Stay safe, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.